This video is going to talk about the teacher's interface and the student's interface. Now I'm logged in as the teacher Thomas Cruz. I'd like to show you Thomas Cruz's profile. I'd like to point out this area right here. If the teacher manually checks this box, the teacher will receive an email anytime a student joins a class or when they cancel the class. So your teacher needs to manually check that box. The default setting is it's unchecked. The teacher will not receive email. But if the teacher does wish to receive notice when the student enters or leaves the class, make sure the teacher knows to check this box. Down below, the teacher has the ability to personalize their profile, and it should be noted that students can view whatever the teacher types in this area. And why would a teacher want to do this? Well, perhaps the teacher wants to have a lesson about themselves, for example. They could type some information about themselves in the About Me box or places they've traveled to area and give that as a homework assignment. For example, they can say, okay, go home, and in the next class I want you to tell me 5 countries that I've traveled to. Or go home and next time I want you to tell me about a place I visited. And the students will have an interesting homework, something that they have some type of intrinsic motivation to see and to research, because they're interacting with that teacher almost every week. Another reason that you may want to have the teacher fill in this profile area is because it really tends to bond students and teachers closer together. Teachers and students, especially students, are naturally curious about their teacher, and vice versa. Teachers are curious about their students, and this gives them a springboard for conversation. Students often want to know who's going to teach them, or maybe they want to choose their teacher, for example. This would be an area where they could research their teachers. So please take advantage of this area and make sure your students know that they can read more about their teachers by logging into their own schedule and clicking on their personal teachers' names. So let's show you that now. Okay, I'm logged in as a student. The student's name is Yori Sawatani. So the student logs in, and by the way, this is of course bilingual. You can click on the flag here and it changes to Japanese. Okay, let's go back to English. So the student logs in and he has a homework assignment to research his teacher, so he clicks on teacher feedback, or he can go down and click on the teacher's name in the calendar down there. And this is some comments left by his teacher in the last class. Good job today, work on your vocabulary, see page 5 from today's lesson. Now the student's naturally curious to learn more about this teacher, so the student can click on the teacher's name and read the notes that we saw earlier. Finally, I'd like to show you a few ways that you can view your classes. Click on School Schedule. This is the monthly view. You can also take a look at the weekly view. And also the daily view. You can assign teachers to different classes, and this is always optional. You don't have to put teachers into classes. You can also change these teachers on the fly very easily. One thing that's particularly useful is this little link right here called Show This by Teacher. Currently it's shown by time from the beginning of the day until the last class of the day. If you click on this link here, Show This by Teacher, it'll sort the daily schedule by the teacher's name. So the teacher's schedules run down the page vertically. And of particular interest is the length of each box, the size of each box. You'll notice that this class is 30 minutes, so it's half the size of this class, which is a 50-minute class. It ends right at the 7:30 mark. You can see that. This is a visual representation, in other words, of your classes. It's quite easy to print out. I'll show you that in just a second. If you have classes which have no teacher assigned, they'll also appear down here under this sentence here. Let me show you how to print this. If it gets too long, you're afraid it's going to run on too many pages, you can come up here, print preview, and you can shrink to fit it. It's on 2 pages right now. You can shrink to fit that. Try 70, and we got it on 1 page. If 70 doesn't work, you can try 50, and it should still print. You can print with colors or without colors. It's really up to you. I personally prefer to print it with colors, but if you want to save on ink, you can just uncheck this box here, and it'll print in black and white also. The teacher can access the student population, find their particular student that they're teaching, view the student's schedule if they need to, and view the student's profile. Now, the student's personal information is kept secret from the teacher. It's not available to the teacher, as you can see here. That's to protect the student's privacy. Any teacher with level access 20 or below will not be able to see this. Now, this is what I'm talking about here, internal staff notes on the student's name. If you have a counseling session and you need to give other staff members or other teachers the results of the counseling session, this would be a great place to type what happened in the counseling session. If there's something strange happened in class, or the student came up to you with some bad news, as you can see here, this happened the other day. This grandpa died, and so the teacher wanted to share that information with other staff members in case the student was acting a little bit down in class. The other teachers can access this page and see what's happening. Also, it should be noted that other teachers can also access your notes. If you're a teacher and you're leaving notes on the student, feedback notes, as we saw earlier, just click here and that will show all the feedback that teachers have given to the student. So this page is something that the student can see, but the page back here is notes that only members of the staff can see. Okay, that's the final feature I wanted to show you in this video. There are many more features that Mr. English has. If you have any questions or concerns, especially about features that you've seen in this video, please don't hesitate to drop us an email. Thank you very much, and talk to you soon.